Hold on a second. I'm just pouring myself some milk. Woo! Hold on a second. All right. I wanted to talk about something I've never really gone in depth to. My childhood. Now, you might have seen me talking about my childhood, and you might think, well, I'm joking, right? I've gone into depth about that. But really, I haven't. I've never gone step by step into my childhood. But I want to talk a little bit about it. Starting with this. Now, you might think that I'm about to say something pretty horrible. And I'm not. I just looked at this and I said, wow, this reminds me of my childhood for some reason. I don't know. I just thought you guys should see it. It is a hot iron, and it is used to straighten clothes. And I'm sure one day we will not use those anymore. But we still do for now, thank God. Now I want to talk about this. Now I got this when I was young, and I remember I was so fucking excited to play Pac-Man on this thing. We needed the right batteries. That's all we needed. We needed batteries. And we finally got the batteries, and I played the fuck out of this thing. And there was Galactica and, not Asteroids, but another game. And there was Pac-Man, and it had Super Pac-Man. It had a really cool design. It's not there now, but it had Pac-Man running away from stuff, and there was a maze, and there was like the spaceships, and the meteorites, and the big green alien things, you know. It looked really awesome. And insect-looking things. It looked fucking so cool. And I remember I used to go to Blockbuster. Oh my god, dude. There's nothing like it. Going into Blockbuster, getting a movie, it was so exciting. Oh my god, I would get... That's the first time I saw Child's Play. Chucky. First time I saw Chucky. Whatever, I already know that. I can't go in the kitchen because it's wet. So, anyways. I remember that's the first time I saw Child's Play, then I saw Child's Play 2, and I saw Child's Play 3, and I saw Bride of Chucky, and I saw Seed of Chucky. And they were so fucking cool, you know, and he was like so cool to me. And we got other movies from there. And that's where I saw the first time I saw, oh my god, dude. Fuck, I am just getting flooded with memories, dude. Oh man, fuck me, dude. We used to see, there was a Power Rangers movie, and it wasn't the original one. It was the one where there was that pink slime. Oh, you already know what I'm talking about, dude. There was the Silver Ranger, he came in, busted shit up, and oh, that was the greatest. And there was another show that was like a rip-off of Power Rangers, but I forgot the name of it, and that was so cool. Fuck, dude. And I remember Wanna-Do City. I used to go to Wanna-Do City. They had an elevator with no cameras in it. And it was not a glass elevator. It was an elevator that you just got into. There was different floors. There was weird rooms that didn't make sense. But they had cool stuff. You could be an animator. You could be a firefighter. And I was a firefighter. I was a police officer. I was a prisoner. I mean, you could be anything. And we would arrest people for wearing a certain colored shirt, or arrest them for like chewing gum. And it was just fucking awesome because they gave us a list of things that people aren't allowed to do, and everyone was just role playing. Everyone was role playing. Like everyone was so fucking up to it. Like, and you just would pull them in and like, oh, you're under arrest. They would be the prisoner. Then they would break out, and they were like flexible bars you had to rip open, and then you would become the cop. They would become the cop, and you would be like recruiting them. And I was a rock climber. I dug for dinosaur stuff. I was a paleontologist. And they had real firefighters that would tell you what to do. And we rode around on this fire truck around this, because Wanadu City was huge, and you could actually ride around in this fire truck to certain places, and you would put out these fires. And it was so exciting. And it made me want to be a firefighter. And I always wanted to be one. And I wanted to be a police officer, too. I mean, the effect that had on me was so positive, you know? And the animation studios, I have to say, were weird. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. But something weird was going on with that. And there was rooms upstairs that were weird. I don't know exactly what to say about it. I wasn't involved with those things. But, whatever. Why do you tell me all this shit?
What?
Whatever. Why do you tell me all this stuff?
I don't want it is always on the internet. I don't know why I said anything. I don't know.
So anyways, then there was Universal, and there was Disney World. Universal was awesome. The Lion Country Safari. What else was there? Toys R Us, when that was around, because there's 80 more that are going to be spread around in Canada. It's pretty much done in the U.S. But Toys R Us was the shit. It was so huge. You just can't fucking compare to it. Like, you would just want to bring your kids there. You just wanted to bring them there, you know? I don't know why that thing went out of business. I know they have Amazon now, but it's like, dude, nothing compares to going there with your kid and seeing the excitement and looking around. Like, there's no other place like that. That's gone. There has to be another one. There has to be something better that rises up, you know? But anyways, Blockbuster's pretty much gone, almost. Toys R Us is almost completely gone. And Wanadu City is gonzo. I think they opened up some spin-off shit, but Wanadu City was just so amazing. And so was Blockbuster. Blockbuster had a Lego table in the back, so you just keep your kids occupied. I think it was right next to the secret room, the back room. That's where they kept, like, pornography, supposedly. I don't know if they really did or not. I think they did. And, yeah, man, the spirit of it is coming back to me, you know? Because your spirit leaves when other things leave, you know? Your spirit is very big. And I don't want to get into spirituality or even talk about spirits, so I'm going to stop now. But a part of your consciousness is the inside of those stores. You witness those things. That's a part of you, and it's gone. You lose a part of yourself, and, you know, it's so fragile. You can't even believe how fragile it is. But, man, no. Something's going to happen. Something good. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll see. And of course, TV, you know, Nickelodeon, you know, I'd watch Ren and Stimpy, and I would watch SpongeBob SquarePants, and just any show. You know, Nickelodeon. And I would watch Cartoon Network. I would watch Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack. I would watch Samurai Jack really late at night at my stepdad's house. My stepdad had a wooden house in a neighborhood filled with wooden houses. It was so, not even ghetto. It was just like wooden shacks almost. And he lived there. And there was bugs and stuff around, and it was just like, I don't know. He did it though. He lived there, and There was a guy across the street that had a wolf. It was like an actual wolf. Like, it would howl at the moon, and it would howl at people, and it would be pretty mad. And it was illegal, but he had one. And he used to do cocaine. Not my stepdad. His friend. I'm not going to say his name, but he was Asian. And they were good friends. Yeah. Started with an H. His name started with an H. And I remember it was just so awesome. And my stepdad used to drive me home from his work. He worked at the Boca Diner. And we would drive home from there, and it would be so dark outside. And I would have chocolate cake and stuff. And it would be so dark outside, and he would turn on this rap music. And it would be Biggie, Hypnotize. That song, I have a very specific memory of that song. Just going down those dark roads with no lights on them at all. It was such a spooky feeling, you know. So it would be Biggie, and it would be, you know, and I used to watch horror movies when I was little, so that was my environment. Like, it was just a spooky feeling, you know. And it was like, it was Biggie, it was 50 Cent, it was Tupac once in a while, and it was, sometimes they played Ja Rule back when he was doing his thing. He's pretty much gone, but. And my aunt used to have these pool parties, and I would be in the pool parties, and they would play Britney Spears, and they would play Ja Rule, and they would play 50 Cent more, and they would play. I don't think they played Eminem back. They didn't play him on the radio back then. But there would be Lil Wayne and just you know, Gwen Stefani, you know, holler back girl. They would play a lot of really cool songs. They would play Toxic. They would play Break the Ice. Those are Britney Spears songs. They would play so many awesome songs. And when I hear them, I can just feel the water around me. I can smell the chlorine, you know? I can smell all that. I can be in that pool again and remember how awesome that felt, you know? And sometimes I used to watch The Amanda Show when it would come on reruns, because I watched it when I was really little. And it would remind me of Disney World, actually. And it would remind me, because in Disney World, they used to have buses that you would take. And we took one really late one time. I don't know why. But I had a silver Buzz Lightyear. And that reminded, just my brain just connects things, you know? That connects to The Amanda Show for some reason. And, you know, I used to watch every Harry Potter movie with my grandmother. She used to take me to see them all the time. And the Pumpkin Patch. She used to take me to the Pumpkin Patch. Just even saying that is like the spirit of Halloween and the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of Easter and just all of those things. You know, it's all ingrained in my childhood. You know? And, yeah, there was domestic violence. And there was alcoholism. And there was troublemaking, you know, and, you know, some very small legal problems. But you just, and there was financial problems and financial struggles, but you just make with what you have, and I had a damn good childhood, you know? I had a good one, you know? Yeah. Well, I'm going to pour another glass of milk. Stay strapped in because I have more time to talk to you. So I'm going to be... Can I reach it from here? Not really. I'm not that tall. I'm pretty tall, though. I'm not really tall. I'm just tall, you know? I'm really surprised with how much I've grown in such little time, you know? Like... I noticed just within weeks, I'm taller than I was a week ago. You know? It's so crazy. Oh. I usually don't drink from this because I don't trust it. I don't know. Sometimes they use... I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but anyways, I like it. My godfather, Dean, I just call him Uncle Dean. He used to drive me to Kmart every Friday. Every single Friday. And I remember on Fridays I would have my computer class at elementary school because they used to have specials. That's what they would call them. They would call them, yeah, they would call them specials. What's the special for today? Is it music? We had a music class, and so each day of the week you had a different class that you would go to towards the middle of the day. Sometimes it was PE, and Friday was always computer class, and that was the one I didn't like. And it was always worth it because I got to go to Kmart, and we'd just fill up the cart. And my godfather, he would use, one of those carts that you drive, because he didn't like walking. He's a big dude. And I would just sit on his knee, and we would just drive around. And they had video games, and they had Sly Cooper, and I remember playing that, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and all of that shit. Oh, man. I remember my birthday parties. I remember my friend Lance, my friend Alejandro, my friend Pierre, just all these fucking awesome stories. And I've told you guys about the Halloween stories and the Christmas stories. Cherish everything you have. You know? Cherish Netflix. One day Netflix might not be a thing. You know, you could say, man, I Netflix and chilled with how many girls? I really use Netflix, you know. I really didn't just take it for granted, you know. One day you'll be thinking that because Netflix won't be there, you know. I'm so thankful I got to go to Blockbuster. I'm so thankful I got to witness Toys R Us before it closed. And I got to witness Wanadu City before it closed. Like, cherish everything that's here right now. Go to Universal. Go to Disney World. Like, you know. Do everything you can. Watch the shit out of these shows on TV because that's all going to be gone and old and vintage, and you just want to beat it. You want to be able to say, that's a part of my life. You know, I was a part of that. I feel like that's a part of me, you know. You want to be able to really say that and mean it, you know. I used to go to my friend Hunter's house. We played Mario Kart on the 64. It was old. I'm talking about the pixelated you couldn't really see the characters that well, like the original Mario Kart. And certain smells. There's this body spray called BOD, B-O-D, and the smell of that reminds me of being in my room, and I had a radio. It was really like a boom box. It had a handle and everything. It was like a boombox, and you could press certain things. You could remix the song. It would help you remix it. You could rewind and play back and all that stuff. And I would remix these songs. And sometimes I would play 2 songs at the same time. And so I would mix sounds. Like I had a Frogger CD. And Frogger CD was a video game. You could play as Frogger. I think it was called Frogger 3D on the PC version. And I played that. I played the soundtrack of that. And I would play the soundtrack of an Eminem song. I would play them at the same time. And I'd just put it on full blast. And I would make stuff in my room. I would like mix chemicals and stuff. And I would color the body spray. Like I would color it red or I'd color it blue. Sometimes I would drink it. I drank ink one time. You know, and I would just jump on my bed. Jamming out to like Eminem and all these different artists. Just full blast. And it was so cool. And I remember staying up all night watching TV. And I almost missed that feeling of, like, I don't know. You were always, you know, Monday through Friday, you were like, man, I gotta go to bed early because it's gonna suck to wake up. It's like, oh. But you get to the point where you'll stay up however late you want. But, like, back then, it's like, I don't know, you worried about that. And I remember watching Drake and Josh and being worried that I would have to get up. It's weird. You think stuff is so old, even when it's not. And then much later, you're like, well, if it was old back then, I guess it's really old now. And it really wasn't that old back then. It was still a part of your life. You don't realize it. And music, there was a lot of Kid Cudi. I would listen to Man on the Moon. I would just be in my room with the lights off, and I would feel like he understood me. Kid Cudi understood me, you know. and I'd play day and night. Yeah. Lupe Fiasco. I would play Superstar by Lupe Fiasco. And I used to think it was by Chris Brown for some reason. Because Lupe Fiasco used to have a shaved head, and I couldn't tell the difference between people very good when I was a kid. Don't know why. I would also hallucinate. I saw the last time this happened was there was a Michael Myers movie. It was, I believe it was for Halloween too, and he looked like a clown. He had a clown mask, and I was like, wait a second, that didn't make any sense. Why was that in the commercial? And then I watched the commercial again, and it was the exact same scene, but he didn't have a clown mask on. I was like, I must have been hallucinating. You know, like I would see stuff over other things. Chucky used to look blue, and his head looked weird. I would, like, hallucinate what he looked like. Rocky used to be Asian to me. Like, I would hallucinate what he looked like. I used to hallucinate a lot and see things that were just, they were nowhere near that. Like, that doesn't make sense. A very active imagination, probably. And maybe I'm just from a different universe where is how things are. I don't know why the dogs are barking. And I grew up with 2 dogs. I grew up with 2 dogs. I grew up with 1 dog, really. His name was Charlie. No, not Charlie. Zeus. Sorry. There's a dog named Charlie that looks just like Zeus. So, sorry, Zeus. But I had a dog named Zeus, and he was my first dog, and I loved him. But he would always get on the counter and eat all the fucking chocolate brownies. And they looked like Little Bites, but they weren't. They looked